That said, guys, let's talk about something a little more specific. We mentioned that Darth Sidious in passing, right? So the Darth Sidious, this is from Clone Wars. They gave it a realistic head sculpt. This is something that they have done with the line. And this is something that I'm starting to understand a little bit more. And I watched Justin's review about this when he was talking about So-So as far as the Invincible figure that I have here. So the reason that they're doing this probably is because they want the Clone Wars line to fit seamlessly with other Hot Toys on your shelf. And if you have a bunch of animated head sculpts, then you have a bunch of realistic head sculpts, it might look a little weird unless you differentiate them and separate them by a pretty extensive margin, right? So I think that's probably why they're doing this. I would suspect, right? So, but if we're looking at Palpatine, Darth Sidious here, it's a nice looking figure. It's a Clone Wars figure. The head sculpt I think is fairly controversial, I guess we could say, to put it lightly. The outfit, I think everyone's pretty much on board. The base is pretty cool. The lightning effects pretty typical for a Palpatine Sidious, but the head sculpt, I think that's the primary reason we buy Hot Toys in most cases. And this one's a little bit questionable. Riley, do you think Darth Sidious is worth the money? Is he worth pre-ordering or ordering outright? Because for maybe people who don't have that Emperor that was released previously, maybe this is their option. Maybe they just love Clone Wars. What do you think about how this looks in its current state?
Right. Well, firstly, I'd like to say that, I mean, if he's worth the price, if we're talking about the price, I think 100%. I think it's really greatly valued, personally. I think it's $265 on Sideshow, which I'm kind of surprised with. I feel like I think Optical's been saying it, their prices kind of have been dropping more recently from before. Like, it's been pretty crazy in the past, but now, like, I mean, a Darth Sidious with a head sculpt, movable eyes, you get his sabers. I mean, he doesn't come with obviously a bunch of stuff, but like a nice base for $265, that's a really good price for now, from the times we're at now. So I would say it's definitely worth the price. Is he worth like actually picking up? I think that's more so just based on the collector. For me, since I am obviously a huge Clone Wars fan, I think I'm like pretty like definite I'm picking this up. I'm gonna get it down just to have him in the clone display. But I understand why some people would be like, no, this really isn't my Palpatine, and I don't know if I need to collect 2-3 Palpatines in my display. And like people have talked about, we have the Return of the Jedi, which is already an amazing representation of the character. We have Revenge of the Sith anniversary in 2 years. I mean, I think it's guaranteed you're going to get a Revenge of the Sith Palpatine with the orange eyes, the Sith eyes. That's going to look really cool. I think me and Nick talked about it. I'm surprised this one didn't also come with like an alternative sculpt with red eyes. I think that was a missed opportunity. They should have really done that. That would have been really nice, but it is what it is. I think it's definitely worth the money. I'm going to pick it up, but like I said, for people who are like we talked about tier-based collecting, is this that character where you want to have 2 or 3 or 4 Palpatines? Because there's going to be a lot in the future. But for me, I think I'd have multiple Palpatines. I'd get this, and I'd get Return of the Jedi. And I don't know, maybe Revenge of the Sith. That's 3 Palpatines. That's pretty wild. But hey, I'm picking this one up. This, for Clone Wars fans, the scene of him fighting Savage and Maul. Like, you guys, if you haven't watched the Clone Wars, just look up that scene. That fight is so badass. And we definitely, like people have been talking about, need a Savage press. I don't know if you've ever seen the way he looks, Will, but in a figure format, he would look amazing. So we definitely need that down the line. I wish Hot Toys did a little teaser or something, like maybe him in the back, like, because you know Hot Toys does that sometimes. That would have been really cool, and I would have been even more excited about this line. But like I talked about, Clone Wars is showing that Hot Toys are diving deep into it. And like we said, are they kind of more appealing to younger collectors like myself, Nick, and other people out there who love Clone Wars? I don't know, because we didn't get any Return of the Jedi. Do feel for people who are kind of a little bit annoyed with that, but I'm a happy collector regardless, and I'm picking this guy up. And I think the sculpt's great. I don't think Nick, you hate it on you hate this. I know other people.
Oh, yeah, okay. Wait. Just keep going.
You think it's great, Riley? Use the word great.
I think it's like a rating out of 10. I'd probably say like an 8 out of 10. I just think it's a really great. It's not perfect. Like, it's not like exactly like him, but like if I get this in hand, I'm gonna be happy with it. And another thing, I'm probably gonna have him with the hood over. So it's more so just I don't really need the sculpt to be perfect. So I'm fine with it. But yeah, Nick gave it a nice 5.5 out of 10. I don't know if he's changing it.
Well, that's kind of like Luke, right? Mando Luke, 7.5, I would say, but he's gonna have the hood on. But Nick, what did you want to say?
You gotta pull up the video, like Nick.
The sideshow one?
Yeah, pull it up.
Okay, yeah, I'll pull it up. Nick, you go ahead though.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So Kiko's not on the panel, so someone's gotta be controversial.
Someone's gotta be spicy, dude.
We need the spice.
You.
I'll be the spicy one. Look, I love Palpatine. He's my favorite Star Wars character. All right. My favorite. I love him. I saw this figure and instantly I was like, wow, I do not like that. I do not like that.
Yeah.
I think I just, I know what it's going for. So listen, let's hold on before the comments are coming and making fun of my mustache and all that, because everybody loves to talk about that. Look, I know it's meant to be based off the Clone Wars show. I know. I personally just don't like how skinny he looks with that robe. He just looks so like skinny that it's not intimidating. And I don't like that. Because I feel like the Emperor is a very like he should be intimidating looking. And he just looks like, I don't know. Like I always make jokes about, the Emperor I already have, the Return of the Jedi. I'm always like, man, he's just it's just an old man in a bathrobe. But like he at least that robe, he's got like a lot of bulk, and he looks bigger than what he really is underneath, So it makes him look slightly more intimidating. But like this one, man, I don't know. Like there's that one photo of it, like where he's just standing there with his lightsabers, and he looks so skinny, and I just really don't like it. Like, but I will say I'll give him credit. I like that they put wires in the cape in his little robe, because that'll allow for you can maneuver it and all that. And I've seen photos, like I said, I saw it on display and they had it kind of like flared out, and I was like, okay, it actually doesn't look as bad as I thought. It looks kind of cool that way. But I still stand by the head sculpt is not great.
I'm with you.
I don't like it. And here's the thing, I don't like the head sculpt because it's off. Because all right, I've seen a picture where somebody put the head, Ian McDermott's face and the figure's face next to each other. And it kind of made me realize, like, okay, his eyes are just kind of too beady. This is going to sound so nitpicky. This is so nitpicky. But like,
of course, so nitpicky.
This is so nitpicky. I know.
It's good.
But I feel like his eyes are too beady. He doesn't have his Sith eyes, which is weird. I feel like, and I just feel like his face is too short. Like he looks too square. I think that's what it is. I don't know. That's just
too short.
I think his face is too short, bro.
I've never heard that.
Well, because see, Riley, Nick is onto something I think important here, because every time I say, and this is in Kiko's honor here, every time I say a head sculpt's off, he's like, all right, well, tell me exactly what's off with it. I'm like, I don't know, bro. It just looks off.
I can't explain it.
Yeah, he was like, because he was like, I think he wants to explain like the exact measurements. Like, is the nose perfect or is the eyes right? I'm like, no, it doesn't look like him. That's the best way I can describe it. But Nick is being specific.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Look,
but you're saying he's too skinny, but have you seen the Clone Wars? He's like a stick in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, he is pretty thin.
But that's what I said. I understand. It's based off the Clone Wars TV show. I didn't say, what it is. I know this isn't Revenge of the Sith Palpatine. I'm aware. So look, it is what it is. He's wearing his little skin tight robe. That's cool. Cool for him. I don't like it personally. But like if you like it, that's cool. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna over here, telling people buy what you want. Don't buy it or whatever. Like, no, if you like it, you like it. And that's cool. I'm glad. As Riley has figured out, I'm a very picky person, and I hate it. Yeah. I'm way too picky with things, and I really don't like it because sometimes I want to just go and enjoy something, and I just can't, and I hate it.
However, Nick, you are paying a lot of money for this, right? So you want to be picky.
But no.
So,
and I always say like we should all be somewhat picky, because if you're not picky with some things, then they take advantage of you. Like look.
No, it's true.
If nobody complained about the Doc Ock head sculpt, they wouldn't be changing it.
Well, Nick, if no one complained about Tony Stank, they would have been like, we just shipped a banger.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they would have done.
We just shipped a banger. This is great.
No cap, boys. Like, you just got the Iron Man head sculpt of the year. And then, dude, and then everyone complained. They were like, well, fuck. Like, we better take that shit back. Like, that's what they did.
Yeah. So, like, look, even if they did fix the head sculpt, I'm not going to buy it, because, like, Clone Wars, this is just not how I view my Palpatine. My Palpatine, I either want Revenge of the Sith or the Return of the Jedi I already have. So for me, that's my Palpatine. I'd even take a Rise of Skywalker. I hate the movie, but I like the way he looks in that movie. But look, for what it is, it's accurate to what it's based off of, and I appreciate that. So it did a good job for that. Okay. That's where I'll end it.
Okay.
No, mic drop. Well, I do think so. This is something that people probably need to consider, right? So in 2 years' time, obviously it's a while away, but they are probably going to make another one. They probably are going to make this one for the Return of the Revenge of the Sith, anniversary, which is going to be a little more Senator Palpatine, probably in his fight with Mace Windu. So very similar outfit to this, hopefully an improved head sculpt. So you're probably going to get another opportunity at this one, maybe in a slightly better form, unless you love Clone Wars. If Clone Wars is your jam and you love Clone Wars, this is it, right? I don't know if it's a 5.5, but I understand where Nick's coming from. It's definitely off. I would say like a 7 to a 7.5. I think it's like when I look at this, I see Ian McDermott in there somewhere, but with that head sculpt, I'm just not quite sold. I think that Hot Toys generally does really well with old men. So I'm not sure why exactly. Like Count Dooku and the Alec Guinness ones are amazing. Like those are Tarkin's great, right? So they really do well with like older male characters for some reason. So the Harrison Ford from The Force Awakens was really good, right? So stuff like that. Right. So I'm surprised this one is as off as it is, because I would have thought that they would have nailed this one based on their current track record. But
also, can I say one more thing?
Yeah,
I forgot to add. I also this is once again just a Nick thing. All right, this is just a me thing. I kind of would have liked if they didn't go for a smiling head, just because like the other one has a smiling head too. So like get some variation in there. And if they gave this one like a cool little snarl, like with his teeth showing and he's all angry looking, I think that would have been cool.
That'd be cool.
Because like that would be really cool. And then for people like me who had the original, could have just bought the head sculpt to this one and put it on that one. You could have, had a cool thing going.
That's fair.
That's just how I don't know. But it is what it is,
Yeah.
We'll get a Revenge of the Sith one eventually.
Yeah, we will. We will, guys. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below on this Darth Sidious figure that was announced for May the 4th. Pretty exciting. But look, I'm happy for the Clone Wars fans. I don't think it's the worst thing ever. I think the head sculpt is solid to decent. That's what I would say. And it's not the best, but certainly not the worst either.